There it is, the Kyrie Irving trade. So the Mavericks received Kyrie Irving and Markieff Morris. The Nets received Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, a 2027 second round pick, a 2029 first round pick, unprotected, which is important, and a 2029 second round pick. Uh, so just man, come on, man, just give me the overall thoughts on this trade, man. I got a lot to say, but I'm gonna let you guys go first. So whoever wants to go first.
Uh, I mean, shit, I'll kick it off again. I mean, with this trade, the Mavericks definitely did take a gamble, but the only reason why I feel like people are kind of going crazy about it is because everybody has a special, like a lot of Mavericks fans got a special heart in their place for Finney Smith, and they like what Spencer was doing, which I get that. I mean, you have attributes from both of them that clearly, mainly the defense with Dodo that we losing, but you got people that just really like, oh no, Kyrie, yada yada yada. But the thing that is right, I'm not so crazy about because of course I think it's gonna work. I mean, I just feel like Luka is one of them generational talents is that he can adjust his game to whoever's on the floor with him. I just really think people don't realize the talent that he's had. He's literally had to do everything and be lucky if one of his guys gets him 20 plus a night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as far as the actual team, the Mavericks are still going to be okay whether or not he stays or they sign him or whatever they decide to do because they already in the works of getting Christian Wood an extension right now, which I feel like is a very important piece that you do need to keep, whether you have Kyrie there or not. But at the same time, they really didn't have to back up the truck for him. They gave up a first round pick in 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at it, the bleeding from that Porzingis trade is finna stop here soon. So they're finna be back in the mix with some of these picks. And I do kind of have a lot more trust in the new GM that they got. I feel like he's a good eye for talent. I feel like that he's a more aggressive GM. I don't feel like any of the former GMs that we've had would have made a move like this. And I also think he's looking at it two different ways. Like, yeah, we may give up this picks, but one, he's either going to stay. We're going to have Seawood here. We're going to have him here. And we've unloaded money by getting Finney Smith and Dinwiddie off of our books. Those were, I think they were making somewhere close to around 20 million or something like that. Within 15 to 20 million, you get money off your books. So you got money right there in the back pocket to pay Kyrie if he stays. If he doesn't stay, you've increased your cap to where you can still sign players in the offseason and free agency if you need to put around Luka, because there are some valuable free agents that's going to be in the market this offseason. So as far as that side of it, as far as the Mavericks, I think they're still in a good position to make moves if they need to put talent around Luka. As far as the actual play in general, I don't know. Damn it, I just don't know. Hey man, I've been trying, I've been trying to look at this offense to see, okay, how are they gonna work this? Because before with just Luka, it was just a lot of pick and roll. But we know with Kyrie, what's his like? Yeah, he use pick and roll, but what does he do? ISO. But at the same time, the Mavericks are like one of the leading teams in isolation ball because of 77. So I really don't know how they gonna get this shit done. If
And
Jason Kidd makes this shit work, that nigga deserves all the flowers in the world.
no, I think it definitely can work, Chris. Like, because you've
No, it
seen what
can.
Kyrie can do as a second option to ball dominant players like a LeBron James. We seen what he could do with a off ball and on ball superstar in Kevin Durant. So it's like Kyrie is a basketball savant. His skill is unquestionable. Dude was the number one overall pick. He played like 7, 8, 9 games in college, like as a
Yeah,
point guard.
DJ. But my only thing is about that, man. DJ had to play second. I mean, I understand he was a second, like to a but he ain't been the second to a ball dominant player since he left LeBron.
no, but this is what I'm
I
saying.
think I think one of the most underlooked things about Kyrie game is he's a pretty solid catch and shoot guy, and he's a pretty
Exactly.
great off the ball player. He doesn't have to
Yes.
have the ball in his hands every possession, and
He
Yes.
doesn't.
that's something that's gonna make up for Luka not being an off ball great player. So
Exactly.
with that's one thing that Kyrie brings to the offense. And you gotta also realize is that what's it called? Now they have a second isolation guy that is in the top 10 for isolation scoring. So instead of just careless, just dribbling the ball for 20 seconds,
20 seconds of
endless
the shot
seconds,
clock. Yep.
they're actually going to be getting more buckets, and that's going to lead to more offensive efficiency. Like we seen Spencer Dinwiddie, he was averaging 17 points, but how efficient was he as a scorer? We seen Dorian Finney-Smith, he dropped off in 3-point percentage, and his field goal percentage was well low. And we seen that starting back in the playoffs
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I feel like even though they let go of a solid 3-point shooter, I feel like they got that in Kyrie Irving because Kyrie Irving can score from anywhere on the court efficiently.
Exactly.
And I think the sleeper in this trade is Markieff Morris. Markieff Morris is a solid
Oh,
defender.
you had me until
And
you had me until you brought up on keyboard.
No, I'm saying he can make up for like the size that Dorian Finney Smith had. So
I
that's
don't think so. I don't think so. This is what I'm gonna say. Okay, this is how I feel about the trade. First of all, when you got a guy like Luka Doncic that everybody can clearly see, even though he hasn't won yet, he's a winner. Everybody that knows basketball, has watched basketball, can see Luka Doncic could be the best player on a championship team. We all know that. But the thing that the Mavericks lacked was a secondary talent that was of caliber to be a second best player on a championship team. Last year, Mavericks had Jalen Brunson. Kyrie Irving is a better basketball player than Jalen Brunson in every facet of the game. So if Luka can get to Western Conference Finals with Jalen Brunson, imagine what he can do with Kyrie Irving. The problem is we did give up Dorian Finney-Smith, who is the best defender on the Mavericks by far. He's a guy that will guard Ja Morant. Then at the same time, you will put him on Giannis Antetokounmpo. Then at the same time, you'll put him on Jason Tatum. His defensive versatility was one of the best things about the Mavericks season and playoff run last year. Because you could throw him on a Devin Booker, but then at the same time, you could throw him on a bigger wing, a smaller point guard. So that is going to be missed. That has to be replaced. There's no way around it because with how the lineup is currently constructed, who's guarding the bigger wings and the faster point guards? That's number one, basketball wise. But offensively, it can work. Kyrie Irving can play on ball, off ball. You can run him with the second unit as the main guy. You can run him with Luka as the off ball guy. If Luka's getting double teamed, you can let Kyrie do his thing. Like Ray said, he's a good catch and shoot guy, all that. But the Dorian Finney Smith on defense, that will be missed and it has to be replaced. You can look at a guy like Josh Green and start trying to hold him accountable to where he has to be better. He was a first round pick. So you could probably be like, hey, Josh Green, get better. And he did have 29 the other day against Utah, I think, where he was flashing offense, defense. He was on Laurie marketing a little bit. So he kind of flashes of some versatility on defense, but that is my biggest thing with this. And on top of Kyrie Irving being the most unreliable superstar that we probably ever seen. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. Uh,
eh,
Kyrie Irving,
I don't think they're gonna miss Dorian Finney Smith as much as y'all think they are.
I mean, okay. You don't think they're gonna miss Dorian Finney-Smith? We play the New Orleans Pelicans right now. Who we putting on Ingram, Zion? Who we putting on either one of them? Who we putting on them dudes?
unless they
Who?
start playing some of them young boys and they actually show like,
I
oh
mean,
yeah, I can play
but you ain't
defense and
off
stuff
multiple
like that.
people. How was Dorian gonna guard all of them?
No, but this is what I'm saying. Dorian Finney-Smith you can literally put him on Ingram and be like, okay, I feel all right with it. And then everybody like you could put him on. You can't really put him on Zion because Zion really kind of babies everybody. But I'm gonna stay with Ingram.
I don't think you
There's
could put him on
nobody on the
Ingram,
Mavericks
but
roster currently that you would want to throw on Ingram. Who would you throw on Ingram right now from the Mavericks roster? Who would you throw on Jason
I'm
Tatum? Who would you throw on
I would
Giannis?
I wouldn't look at Finney and be like, yeah, I think he's gonna get the job done tonight. That's
Are you
you putting
serious?
up. I think you making him a way better defender than what he really is.
Are you serious?
Pretty serious right now.
I thought Dorian Finney-Smith was the best defender in the league last year. People was hyping up Mikal Bridges and people was hyping up all them other dudes. I think Dorian Finney-Smith was the best perimeter defender in the league last year because his defensive versatility, he could literally guard 1 through 3 and a couple fours.
And what did he do in the playoffs defensively?
He did his job.
Who did he lock down?
We not gonna sit here and act like Devin Booker had an all-time series against the Mavericks. Dorian Finney-Smith was a part of that. We not gonna act like he wasn't getting thrown on Donovan Mitchell, where Donovan Mitchell was having one of underwhelming playoff series by his standards. We're not gonna do that.
Has Donovan Mitchell has only been recognized for really one playoffs run, and it was only one series. They got
So,
eliminated. So I mean,
are you serious? Donovan Mitchell killed OKC with Paul George and Russell Westbrook his rookie year. He went back and forth with Jamal Murray in one of the greatest like playoff battles that we
that was
have
the series I was
seen.
talking about. That's the one you talking about. Don't nobody bring that up. But he's really only known for that back and forth he had with Jamal Murray.
No,
He's not an
no.
all-time
Donovan
playoff
Mitchell is a
performer.
great playoff performer. Come on, Ray.
Name you the other playoffs then that he just went
I just
crazy.
told you OKC series, and
You naming
then
off you named off two series. I'm talking about a playoff run.
bro, go. Do we gotta? All right. Since we gotta look up Donovan
He
Mitchell
doesn't
playoffs,
have a run
man.
in the playoffs. I know this for a fact. Utah has not made a deep playoff run since he's been in the league.
Bro,
he hadn't gotten past the second round.
Like you trying to make him an all-time playoff performer in his time. He's not even the best playoff performer in his era.
he averages 28, 5, and 5 in the playoffs. He's a playoff
What does
rival.
that mean when you're getting knocked out of the first round?
He get knocked out in the second round. He got knocked out in the first round.
What round he get knocked out last year, DJ?
The first round, because I'm saying Dorian Finney-Smith played a part in Donovan Mitchell playing bad last year. He shot 40% from the field. He shot 21% from three. Dorian Finney-Smith was the primary defender on Donovan Mitchell. Was he or was he not? That's what I'm saying. Okay, you can bring up Donovan Mitchell and all that, whatever. But Dorian Finney-Smith played a part in that.
That's the credit you want to give him.
So how do you feel about Dorian Finney-Smith defense, Ray? If you feel like he's not a valuable defender,
I didn't say he wasn't a valuable defender. I'm saying y'all trying to make him out to be an all-time defender though.
bro, he was the clear-cut best defender on the Mavericks. Anytime when a team loses their clear-cut best defender and don't add another great defender, don't hit me with no Markieff Morris. He's not as good as a defender as Dorian Finney-Smith.
I never said he was. I said he's a solid defender.
That's a problem. That's what I'm saying. That is the problem. That he's not as good of a defender as Dorian Finney-Smith. You put Dorian Finney-Smith, if Dorian Finney-Smith can go from Ja to Devin Booker, dudes like that, two totally different players, and he can literally guard them and do a good job. Have you not seen Ja Morant never really killed the Mavericks? It was because of Dorian Finney-Smith. I used to watch those matchups. Dorian Finney-Smith did a great job on smaller point guards. He did a great job on wings and shooting guards. Period. I can't sit here and let you disrespect him like the dude not a good defender just because he's not a household name. Dude is a great defender in this league. That's all I'm saying. And he will be missed. That's all. I mean, you can.
I just hope Dallas don't try to make a serious push to get that boy DeAndre Ayton though, because I seen something about that too.
Mm-hmm. So I got this question for Ray. Where do you see the Mavericks going for records wise now? How far do you think they can go? I ain't gonna say record wise. How far do you think they can go?
How they gonna finish out this season?
Yeah.
I think they'll finish out top 4.
Okay. Chris?
I mean, I agree with them on top 4. I know they can at least get to the second round. Of course, when they make it to the playoffs, because yeah, the West is just so wide open right now, bro. Like, really, the only two that's really stood pat is Denver and Memphis. But yeah, I mean, if we had to play anybody else, I'd put my money on Dallas in a heartbeat.
Mm, uh, so okay, I'm gonna ask you like this: playoffs. Give me your playoff predictions for the Dallas Mavericks. They're winning the championship, losing in the first round, bowing out in the second. Give
I feel like
me.
they're gonna get knocked out in the second.
Okay, right.
Like, if I had to go off of the standings right now, they'd have to play the Kings. So I would assume that they beat the Kings. You have the Nuggets had to play the Pelicans, Grizzlies had to play the Warriors, Kings had to play the Mavs, Clippers had to play the Suns. I feel like the Mavericks would beat the Kings. And then pretty much, like I said, second round, it could be either the Pelicans, Warriors, the Suns, or the Clippers, the Grizzlies, and the Nuggets. But if we go against the Clippers, I want all that smoke. I'm sick of them.
Mm, we'll see. Right.
Uh, yeah, I'll say about the same. They probably get eliminated second round more than likely. Uh, but hey, I don't know. They may surprise us.
Man, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. If they can avoid the Denver Nuggets and possibly, I'm really
I,
not scared. The Pelicans, then I feel like they deserve
mm,
finals.
I feel like they can beat the Pelicans in a 7 game series. I feel like me personally, they would just have to avoid. I just feel like they'd have to avoid the Nuggets, and I know you're gonna hate me for this, but they probably have to avoid the Warriors just because of the lack of perimeter defense they have and just the amount of shooting that they do.
I feel like the Warriors is going to bow out. So
No, I feel you, but I'm just saying if
I
we
see what you're
talking
saying,
like
but
a
I
healthy
don't think the
team,
Warriors
yeah,
go
I'm
get
I'm
enough.
just saying if I'm looking at all of these teams, and like I said, if the Mavericks get past the first round, and I'm just saying, of course the Nuggets, I wouldn't want to see that. I just wouldn't also want to see the Warriors just because of the lack of perimeter defense.
Okay, I feel that. I feel like they can make the Western Conference Finals at their peak. Like if everything goes right, I don't think they can make it to a finals. I do think Denver and possibly I'm not over the Pelicans. We're gonna get to Brandon Ingram and them and the Pelicans later, but I'm still not over the Pelicans, y'all. The Pelicans, Grizzlies, and Nuggets. I still think those are the three best teams in the West. But I do think the Mavericks just adding more talent to a guy like Luca, who you can argue is the best player in the
The
conference. If the best,
Pelicans just got to get healthy, man.
yeah. But I'm saying fully healthy, that's a scary team. They're like the new Clippers. Like how the Clippers
Right.
did, they're the new that version.
Yeah.
Like if everything's right, because they got the depth, they got the coach, and they got the
Yeah.
star.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So you don't want to see that. I know first or second round. I ain't gonna lie to you. But is that everything with the Kyrie trade? Y'all want to move on to Cam Thomas?
I mean, this is just the last thing I'll say about Kyrie, and then I'm gonna leave it alone. I mean, I know people got like they worries about whether or not he gonna show. The one thing that I will say about Kyrie is that he may have all his bullshit going on during the regular season, but the one thing I will, and I'll just leave it, he does show up during the playoffs. If he missed 100 games during the season, he will show up during the playoffs.
Okay. So
And I'll just leave it at that.